championships, no it gets no better than this. Just sit and relax a bit. We're talking the pass and blitz. We're talking the jump and switch. We're talking the pitch and miss. Clean space, kick space. You come to the right place. Deep bait. I don't need to see other shows I'm straight. Cause they're not impressing me. I tune into Legacy. Legacy. Fourth and goal and on the road. Legacy. Down 3 seconds to go. Legacy. 2 outs, bases loaded. Legacy. It's not a mystery, you're tuning to Legacy. Checkered flag on the final lap. Legacy. 12th round, who gets in the mat? Legacy. You want a legacy. You build a legacy. Broadcasting live right now so the whole world can see. Now, the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. We about to get this bad boy started.
Here are your hosts, Darrell Owens and Jay Quimby.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast here on the LegacyMaker Sports Network. I'm your man, Darrell Owens. Of course, with me, as always, the man missing the absolute legend, Mr. Jeremiah Quimby. What's up, sir?
It's cold as shit out.
Yeah, it's really cold outside. I got out there this morning, and I was like, all right, well, I got to go take care of some stuff and get out there thinking, oh, it's not going to be too bad. Shoot, you better go somewhere, boy. It was
right.
big boy. It was big boy cold out there this morning.
I talked to Pops this morning, and he told me it frosted, and they were supposed to get a little, flurries up there in Michigan.
Well, I don't know what he got, but we didn't, whatever they got there, it was chilly here. I was not expecting any of that. Actually, very surprising to me that we got what we did get. I'm still kind of baffled by that.
It's supposed to be 30 degrees tonight. You're going to walk outside, and the boys are going to go.
Yeah, I don't know how excited I am about that because I don't want it to be super duper cold. But, I mean, nevertheless, it should be a good one. First of all, we've got a lot to talk about. NBA Finals, Major League Baseball is getting close to the NBA Finals. MLB is getting closer to finding out who's going to the World Series. We also got to talk this week's NFL. A lot of COVID situations going on. And for those out there, guess what? Me and Jay are now on Anchor, Spotify, Apple podcasts. So if you want to go check the podcast, it'll be up after the show today. So if you can't catch us live and you need to catch us before Sunday and check all that out, you'll be able to check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, all that fancy stuff.
But tell me that this COVID stuff where they did this magic crystal ball shit with the schedule did not screw your fantasy teams up this week.
Oh, God. Yo, so
that's all I want to say. I mean, damn.
That's the thing that messed me up big time because, all right, so
I didn't even play Derrick Henry. I put him on my bench because I didn't know, and then he puts Josh Norman in the dark zone.
Well, here's a funny thing. I had at the last second, I had to make a very
chocolate with Malos. Thank you, LA.
I
see you.
I had to make a very I had to pretty much make a sacrifice. I went and started Deshaun Watson over Allen, but I had to keep Henry in because he was my only running back that was left. Couldn't release him. I'm not releasing Derrick Henry.
Right.
Thank goodness I held on to him and I bench Allen because Watson got me 61 in that league and Allen had me 42.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in good shape. But yeah, it was
What's up, Steve?
It was definitely a phenomenal week on that front, or at least a struggling week on that front, and I'm just glad that we got through it. But we're going to get into.
Says good afternoon, Darrell and Jay.
What's up, Steve? How you doing, brother? LA in the building. Bex is in the building. Thank y'all all. Make sure you get an opportunity to like and share the post. And like I said, we're glad to come to you on this wonderful Friday evening. We're going to give you, like I said, our predictions, all that good stuff. It's evening, right?
It's 3 o'clock in the
afternoon. This afternoon. Before we get into the NFL and before we get in there, I guess we got to go ahead and talk about something I really don't want to talk about, but we'll talk about it anyway.
You know what? You say it like that, but you said it last show, and
right.
You need to stick. You guys were in a place where nobody,
right,
not even you. I mean, if anything, even some of the players, if not all of them, did not think they would be there. So give you guys credit where credit is due.
Well, you're right, and I'm very proud of this team. I mean, the fandom in me was hoping that out of somewhere they would make something happen, but I'll be honest with you, going into that Sunday, I was a little bit when we were here on Sunday, I was like, I don't know, but I'm proud of them. I hated that they lost the way they did in Game 6. I wish it was a little bit more competitive. They made it look good towards the end, losing by just 13 instead of the 30 it was looking like at one point. So very proud of him on that front. But LeBron gets ring number 4. He's now, I believe, if I want to get it correct, he's either 4-6 or 4-5 in the NBA Finals. And I know I'm saying it one wrong one way or the other, but what were your thoughts on this? Because a lot of people are saying that that this one doesn't mean the same. There's the ashes. We've heard all of that talk, but I personally think that this bubble one probably might have been one of the hardest ones to do under the circumstances. What were your thoughts on the Lakers winning title number 4? Winning title 17, LeBron winning number 4.
It ties them now with the Celtics for the most NBA titles ever, which I never thought I would ever see.
Right.
But then, the asterisk is going to be there. It's still an NBA title. It just showed the perseverance that the players had because, well, most of them except for the ones that broke the rules.
All
but
that stuff, yeah.
Shit happens.
Right,
but
right.
Also, they adapted and overcome. It's what the species does.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it and said that I was very impressed by, for me, Jimmy Butler. I like what I saw from Jimmy. I thought he did a great job. I still think that, Miami's a player or so away before they can really, really have a good opportunity. They got to figure out the size. AD had a great series. LeBron had a phenomenal series all the way through. A lot of people thought AD should have been the MVP, but I'm going to be honest with you. Every time I thought that team needed something, I felt like LeBron just powerhoused his way to the basket and made things happen.
You
so
mean
for
like
me,
that time in Game 5 when he powerhoused in all 5 players and he kicked it out?
yeah.
And
So we had
Green missed that.
right, and so the one time that he decided to kick it out, you saw what happened. But
Snowman's in the building.
yeah, Snowman. What's up, Snowman? How you doing, my man, Snowman? Make sure y'all check out Snowman in the morning. That's great stuff going on from my man Brian Snow. Overall, congratulations to the Lakers. You did it.
It is.
I
but
mean,
you know my feeling on LeBron. They keep comparing him to the GOAT, and I really feel if LeBron played in the era of what I believe is the GOAT, he wouldn't have made it.
right.
He would still be a superb athlete, but look, honestly, Jordan, three-peat.
Right.
The closest he came was with what, Miami?
Yeah, but I mean, even in that front, they could have easily have won 4 of those championships. You know what I'm saying? They could have won all 4 of those championships. Maybe not the last one. The last one looked
shoulda, woulda, but didn't.
but didn't. But in the end, I mean, you never change. Like, for me, MJ's the GOAT. I don't care what anybody says. Of course, the younger generation is going to feel differently because they grew up around LeBron. They saw LeBron more. So I think a lot of us, we saw Jordan more. We're going to go Jordan. People in the 80s may see something different in the 70s. So.
But see, the one thing for me, the last player I remember ever to step foot on a court where I said I need to watch was Mamba.
Yeah.
Besides that, I no longer feel that need where if I see or know it's on that I got to watch that game because there's going to be something great happen.
Yeah, and Kobe gave you. I always thought he gave you like an MJ sense. So like you never really knew.
You always thought if the game was close, he's either gonna draw the more people and kick it out to
Exactly.
Robert Horry or Fisher, and then you get that excitement feeling where with these games here that I've been seeing, you don't get that.
No, that's unfortunate. You hope for more, but. Like I said, Lakers, congratulations from this, very proud Miami Heat fan, but sad, just a little bit sad at the same time. But Lakers, congratulations. Off-season is going to be fun. We'll get into that probably a couple episodes from now once we start to see where things can kind of turn. But this free agent class is not as sexy as next year's free agent class. They got some big names in the next year free agent class.
Well,
Big boy names.
But we also got to see how the draft works out too, because there's a lot of big names at the top, and could be. I mean, in the NBA they wheel and deal more than they do in the NFL.
That's true. The NFL's only kicked that up the last couple of years. All right, let's swing to our next topic, which is MLB. The championship series are pretty much right in the middle of things right now. 2 teams have an opportunity to put this thing away tonight. The Rays are up 3-2 over the Astros. the Braves after Kershaw he just ain't built. I don't care what anybody say. You can say whatever. He just ain't built for the postseason. Kershaw just goes in there, it just never again, and then come in and big things happen.
But go to the game before. I mean, that game was over by the end of the first inning. I don't care who you say.
Oh yeah, that game was
all
over quick.
the morale that was even from the cardboard cutouts that were in that stadium were sucked out.
Right. No, it happened so fast. I was like, wow, I cannot believe this is going down the way it is. But it's going to be interesting to see if Tampa Bay can make it back.
Wouldn't it be nice if you got the finals right?
It would be nice.
But you picked the Rays to win, right?
I did pick the Rays to win it all.
Yeah,
That I will. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. My man Randy Orange, work together. We worked together with him at Walmart for years, and I told Randy, I was like, he put me on. He was like, Darrell, I'm telling you, watch out for the Rays. This is last year, before last. So I started watching them, and I'm like, yeah, this team is special. They gave you a Royals feel from a couple of years ago, where they had all of those farm players that no one really talked about, that really knew anything about, but they were just good. That's what this Rays team is, and that's the vibe that I get from them.
Who owns that team?
The Rays?
Yeah, I just wanted to mess with you because I know you don't know.
Yeah, I sure did. You over here, I was like, is that a trick question? Because is it a Glazer? Is it a Glazer? That's the real.
No,
it's not a Glazer. Okay.
The Glazers only own the Bucks and Chelsea, whatever it is.
From over across the seas.
Soccer
Yeah. The powerhouse.
Because they get a lot of shit over there because they're not British. But I mean, George Springer's been a surprise. With he's actually without trash cans still hitting home runs.
Crazy, right?
It's crazy, but you're getting to see what type of players they actually are.
So this, to me, this is a crazy analogy, and you tell me if you feel this way. The Astros right now, we know that they're not cheating because everybody's watching them, so they're playing still really well.
Wouldn't it be funny though if we found a camera and a cardboard cutout?
Oh
in
my
center
God!
field?
Wouldn't that jank be wild, bro? It would be amazing. But
they'd blame it.
Remember how Barry Bonds? Everybody was like, man, he's a Hall of Famer before, and then after, of course, the steroids. It's like the vice versa.
But the steroids don't hit the home runs.
No, that's right. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, we saw how the Astros were this team that they're cheating and all that stuff, and they still were winning all these games. Well, guess what? They're supposedly not cheating now, and they're still in the mix. So it's like kind of a reversal, where this time they may have cheated first, and then this time around they're showing what they can do.
It still makes you wonder because, I mean, did they not cheat until they were down 3-1 to when they were down to innings,
right,
and they come back just like that.
So that's what tonight will be a very interesting one.
Yes, because if the Rays can come in, and that rookie for the Rays, he's been lighting it up. I can't even say his name, but he's been hitting home runs.
Is it Cho? No.
No. Ferrazzo
yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know how to say it, but man,
we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna stick with Tampa Bay, but
he could potentially steal the Rookie of the Year title from your boy.
I hope he don't steal it. But we gotta have something.
You gotta have something. But,
you gotta have something, man.
I mean, I like what he does out there, but I mean, he's been the postseason, just driver force.
Yeah, we gotta have something, man. I don't want them to take that away from us. That'll just be rough. But before we switch to the next topic, who wins tonight? Do we have our World Series set after tonight?
I want to say yes, because that way, so you get something right.
That's hilarious. It would be nice to be able to get something right. So that I appreciate that.
But I think what we're gonna see is, the Rays start off hot.
Right.
And with who they got on the mound, I'm not gonna say he's terrible, but the Astros, I think the Astros pull this out,
right,
and we go to 7 games.
I would not be surprised by that, because I think that drama. I think it would be better for Major League Baseball in general, the drama, if that can happen, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
If they can get to that point and that goes down, that would be amazing. And I don't know. I think the Braves finish them tonight. I didn't have no faith in the Dodgers. I had no faith in the Dodgers whatsoever. If they find a way to do it, great, but I doubt it very seriously.
I saw something on MLB today, yesterday, and it was it might have been MLB Network, but it was John Smoltz on there talking, and they had him virtually go against the 3 best batters right now, and he struck them all out. They had a Tatis Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
they had Trout, and they had Mookie Betts. And that nasty outside slider of his, he started him off with a fastball, but he only pitched one time inside to him.
That's crazy.
And he always owned that outside. So just had to throw that in there because I mean if the Braves get it done, just think of those teams, those 17 in a row that couldn't.
Just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's why I said low key. I would like to see the Braves do it because they've got a really nice young talented team. So we'll find out tonight
But so
if they
did
move
Washington last year.
This is also true. All right, y'all. Now we're gonna swing over to our predictions and all that good stuff for the week. But before we go on our predictions, let's talk about last week. All right. This is our record right now. This is the team records right now.
Jay seems to have bipolar fucking weeks.
I don't know. It's weird, bruh. It's weird because, all right, so we start, Rob had a little bit of a better week this time around. He is currently in last with 46 and 30. Drew's got a one-game lead over him right after that. Russ starting to still kind of creep up there. Lamont's 50 and 26. You and Lamont are tied. Me and Cody are tied at 51 and 25. James is now no longer the leader. And he's been the leader pretty much since week 2.
Yep.
And now Ty, who's been sitting in that second and third spot, has pulled it to the top.
And it hurts my heart because him and I were tied for third, weren't we?
Yeah, I think at one point you guys were
because I was one ahead of you. Now I'm one behind you.
Yeah, and so Ty's just come in there and done his thing, and it was a tough week. We started off with the with the Tampa Bay the last 3 weeks I've lost the Thursday night game.
We get 4 downs, guys.
Yeah, we got 4 downs, guys. And the last couple of weeks I have that Thursday. I'm glad there's no Thursday night game this week.
Right.
Because it has destroyed me each week. Poor Lone Rangers didn't do well last week. But the Lone Rangers lost all their games, so.
Well, and see, it gets me because on there it says that I picked Atlanta to win.
Which
is what I sent, but then I changed later in the week somehow, and I.
Well, you know how it is. You pick early, and then as we get closer to the week, you say, okay, well, then maybe.
For you Atlanta fans that are in the room, stick around because we got something that we're gonna pitch to you guys later.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to y'all about something that I'm probably gonna make you cry a little bit, and something that you don't want to hear going into that, but it is what it is. But week 5 itself was a interesting week. From some aspects because we saw the Dolphins smack the 49ers. I mean, not like...
And Jimmy G just looked so fucking confused when he was
He looked out of it.
Yeah.
He really looked out of it. I'll be honest with you. They may have been better off letting him, I don't think he's fully healthy. I mean, because I don't think he's that bad.
He missed because of an ankle, but he looked like he was more in there or out because of concussion protocol.
Now, are the Dolphins that good, or did we misread the Dolphins that good? You know what I'm saying?
But, on the DL, we've been saying that Flores is building what he might be the one coach besides Vrabel that is actually doing what he sees that needs to be done to build a team that fits him.
See, that's what I like about Vrabel and Flores. They just seem like good young guys. They feel like they're going to be the coaches for the next 10 years.
Right.
That's the vibe that you get from those two guys.
Vrabel, Carrera, the linebacker he traded for, from up there, wanted to come down to the Titans, and he complained. Day later, he complained he was out.
He said, okay, you can go to Jacksonville.
Yep.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. But it was a crazy week. Bears won that close one against y'all, which was crazy.
This makes Nick Foles like 2-0 against Brady.
It can't catch a break,
and it don't
bro.
get anything easier because we got to take on you guys.
It's look. A lot of people, have us. I mean, I got us winning. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's not even.
You guys
as a
have
fan.
scored the 5th most points in the league so far.
And we've been
still
rolling.
had a bye week.
We've been rolling, and
You
that's
know
why.
that?
And that's right. And we have had a bye week, and we're still looking pretty savvy at that. So that makes me happy.
And you get Adams back.
And we get Adams back. No Lazard, but we get Adams back. Panthers and Falcons. Panthers won their game 23-16.
And then finally, Arthur Blank fires
Yes.
the GM and the coach, and then brings in a worse coach. So they are doing.
That's a great way. Then it brings in a worse coach.
Well, I never liked Raheem. I mean, he was a great secondary coach.
I think he got too much too fast. You know how some people get it.
Yes.
I wonder if this time around. I mean, this team
because
offensively
he
is
was
still
the
good.
DC
Yeah.
there, and they promoted him, which could help. But I just, he's the one that found Tenard Jackson, and before he got in so much trouble,
Right.
remember, he was a ball hawk for us.
Right. He did phenomenal things.
So, I mean,
Yeah. But the Panthers looking good, and much love to Teddy B incorporated. DJ Moore's look good.
Anderson
looks
phenomenal.
good. He's a number 2 in most people's eyes. That's why I remember when I said, man, he would be great in Green Bay. This is why. You see how my man's going to work? I mean,
Green Bay didn't get that memo you sent, bro.
I don't think they get any memos. I think I think the Lord could come up and say, hey, we want you to grab that. Huh? What'd you say? Huh? That's what I think's going on there.
You want us to trade our first rounder and fall back in the draft? Okay.
Whatever you want, whatever you need. We had the Raiders win 40-32 over the Chiefs in a shocker.
The Raiders have secretly become good.
Yeah.
And almost great.
I feel good because I had them as a 7th seed in the playoffs. We'll see. It's still early. But
it's
that
Gruden.
was
I'm still waiting for his Prozac to wear off and him go fucking nuts and trade 3 people. So
we'll see how that works out. Cardinals win 30-10 over the Jets. No brainer. That's a whole disaster going on.
And Sam Darnold missed another because of concussion protocol.
Right. And so he's out. He was out, and Flacco was in, and they've got a guy on that team that's really played well, and that's Jamison Crowder. I don't think they'll trade him, but God, I know he's wishing they trade him. He's played really well, man. He's played really well since he's come to New York.
I should have stayed with the Washington football team.
I don't know if he's thinking that or not. I don't know if he's thinking that, but
because there's drama there too.
Yeah, man. But I'm telling you, if you're a team and you could call the Jets, Green Bay, if you could call the Jets and say, hey, Jamison Crowder, is there any way he's available? Green Bay will do it right now.
Tampa.
That would be phenomenal. Tampa Bay, think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we'll take another.
yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So, I mean, but that's just me and wishful thinking. The Steelers defeat the Eagles 38-29.
And that game was really close. Chase Claypool had a game.
4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns.
3 receiving and 1 rushing.
Yeah, I mean he was phenomenal. And think about it, all those guys who had him on their bench in fantasy. I had one guy told me he had 65 points on his bench.
And he was a 3rd round pick, and he was actually a lot of people projected him to be changed over to a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
6'4" with that speed? Nuh-uh.
No, Shawty,
no,
yeah.
sir.
No, Shawty, not at all. So Steelers move on. They're one of the 4 remaining undefeated teams as they beat the Eagles. Ravens beat the Bengals 27-3. Really wasn't a game. Probably Joe Burrow's worst game so far as a pro. I mean, but he couldn't really do anything about it.
I got a couple of friends on Facebook that are, Bengals fans, and a lot of them,
Bruce.
Bruce,
Clarence.
Clarence, and then I got family that are Bengals fans that live down in that area, and they all really pointed out a good thing. Joe Burrow's playing great.
He is.
And they feel that they need to set Burrow down and trade A.J. Green because he really does not look like he wants to be there anymore.
He does look like out of it, doesn't he?
Yes.
I mean, he's not getting the ball. It's more Higgins and Tyler Boyd from what I can see.
Yep. But see, they're so afraid with that porous offensive line that they're going to end up with Andrew Luck 2.0.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're gonna have to find a way to build that offensive line, man. They can't keep letting him get those hits, man. That's just gonna be too rough on him. But I like what I've seen so far from him. But it was just too much Ravens. Texans win 30-14 over the Jaguars. They finally get their first win. They get rid of some trash and they get a dub. I'm just saying, man. They got their pockets light and they actually go out there. David Johnson having a nice resurgent year. Can we say that about David Johnson?
We can say that about him.
Yeah.
But at his age, I think we possibly could see him moved at the trade deadline.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's something that goes down. But he's had a nice little thing going on so far. So
he's done pretty
yeah,
decent.
it's good to see that happening. But
it's nice to see they played Laramie Tunsil all that money. He's actually blocking.
There you go. And then Brandon Cooks had 8 receptions for 161 yards. So Brandon Cooks waking up. Good job, Brandon Cooks. And of course we talked Dolphins and 49ers. I'm still baffled. I was one of the few people on the network. I think like 3 of us that picked the Dolphins. I just had a vibe. I didn't know Jimmy G was gonna look that bad though. I really didn't know it was gonna be like that.
You just had a vibe. I mean, what type of vibe was it? Like, didn't they almost 50 points?
They did.
The
I
Dolphins
didn't see
didn't
that
score
though.
50 points last year.
But I didn't. But I did. That's the thing though. I had my thought process going into it was, well, first I didn't think Jimmy G was playing. Then I found out middle of the week that Jimmy G was playing. I'm like, is he ready though? Because they said 4 to 6 weeks, and it hadn't really been 4 to 6 weeks.
Like
It's been like 3 or something like that. So I thought that he needed more time. So I was kind of surprised they brought him in there. I said, well, the Dolphins played pretty good the week before. So I was like, if they can keep that energy up, kind of like last year. Remember, they started off slow, then they started, momentum, winning a couple games here and there.
Silently, that defense has been better than what anybody thought.
They were going to be, right? And so, and they just, it was 4 picks in that game. It was brutal. But yeah, Dolphins got the dub in that one. So, and then the Browns winning 32 to 23. A
We all
game.
now believe in the Browns, okay, LA?
It's a statement game. They needed this because they're going into the game against the number 1 defense in the NFL, and finding a way to go in there and get the dub is important.
And once again, got Odell involved.
Yep.
And I mean,
Landry looked good. Hunt. Yeah,
they definitely needed that because with the loss of Chubb.
Yeah, what I like about this team is that the Baker Mayfield that we saw at the beginning, where he was really cocky, this and that's starting to come back a little bit. But I saw Nate Burleson said something on NFL Network that I kind of agree with. He's like, I like Baker, but he kind of wants Baker to just keep quiet just a little bit, not too much, but just enough to where it's like, don't start saying things that you can't cash, because that's what happened last time. He started saying things, they started falling back. Just go out there and play football, man. You can talk trash on the field, but be careful what you say out there in the media, because you already got that look.
Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. So I agree with Nate Burleson on that one. Just kind of go out there,
And Phillip Rivers looked washed as hell.
Bruh. I was like, when they gonna put Jacoby in, man? That's like, go ahead and put Jacoby in, man. Go ahead and do it, bro. But I think they might have put him in late last week, but should have put Jacoby in. Cowboys win 37 to 34, but they won, but they lose at the same time, Jay.
I mean, I feel bad for Dak. I mean, I didn't watch the game. I knew what was going on because my phone was blowing up, but that injury. Yeah, I mean, that's not good, and I hope Dak, it makes you wonder. Dak believes he's worth that money. He should have signed the contract. Hindsight's 20/20, but if he does not come back with the Cowboys,
right,
he's going somewhere that'll appreciate him.
I saw something today which was very interesting, and you give me your thoughts on this. A potential name that they said could be looking at him next year, the Indianapolis Colts.
I mean,
that intrigued me a little bit, but I don't know how I feel about that,
Yeah, see, I've heard the Colts, and then I also heard the Washington football team.
Don't you dare.
Pops is watching. What's up, Pops?
Dak, don't you dare.
Well,
I can't see. No, because that line, he doesn't need that right there. Wherever he goes, he needs to have a solid line. Washington's still in the process of trying to figure out what they want on the line.
Anybody that, I mean, I'm surprised Brady didn't end up going to the Colts, just because that line is amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
And,
Phillip Rivers just throwing picks.
Well, and I just think it's sad because you and I have discussed this. We wanted to see Rivers get a ring because that would solidify the class.
That class, I mean, that's what we're waiting for.
And he's a Hall of Famer down the road, but right now he's washed. He's done.
Yeah, it's bad.
He got to go take care of them kids. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not happening, unfortunately. I can't see it going anyway. The Rams beat Washington 30-10. But the biggest moment of that game, it was watching Alex Smith walk onto that field and take some snaps. No, the numbers were miserable. 9 for 17, 37 yards. But I remember being at that game when he got hurt. I was like literally 20 yards away. And the scream that I heard on top of the crowd being quiet, I'll never forget it. The loud. It was just, I got a coach who was just now just thinking about it. To see him walk back on the field for me was like, that's a great story. That's a phenomenal story.
It's an amazing story. I agree 100%. The biggest thing for me out of that, though, was when Aaron Donald come and jumped on his back.
Yeah.
You got 300-plus pound man on you, and you're carrying him.
Yeah, my heart did this right here, Jay.
Oh, so did mine. I was like, oh, shit, please let that leg hold up. And
right.
It did.
Yeah.
He stayed in there and played.
He took abuse that pretty much the rest of that game, and he handled it like a pro. It was good to see. His wife. It's a good moment seeing the kids stand up, get
Yep.
an ovation there.
Is it bad? I saw the kid stand up, and I saw his daughter. I was like, "Put your mask on, girl. You don't need to be sick."
And then Darnold, they caught Darnold saying on the sideline, he was like, man, he said he carried me on his back like his leg strong as. So Darnold saw that
He
and
recognized it.
yeah, man. So it's good to see him come back. Kyle Allen's going to start this week, then, and Rivera said he didn't bring him back in because he didn't want to have Allen get hurt any further under the circumstance. He said, let's let Alex see, and I think he kind of knew
And
that.
so this pretty much solidifies all our speculation on Haskins
Right.
because he hasn't been at practice.
No, he was there today. But he hasn't been up there leading to today. Today he was there, but he's still the third stringer.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I've heard a couple names, Pittsburgh being one.
Pittsburgh, I think that was my first choice.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's probably the one I've heard the loudest, and I think if you're thinking Pittsburgh, he'd be a nice backup to have there. He's the size that he is, and I think almost if you look at kind of how his style, they kind of correlate. Maybe him and Big Ben can kind of figure something out there.
Right.
Who knows?
But I'm excited about Pittsburgh. Bro.
So yeah, Seahawks and Vikings, great game. Vikings should have won that game. There's no reason the Seahawks should have won that game. Thank God they won, though.
Why would you
But
not kick the field goal and go up by 8? That's my only
They
question.
don't want to win games. They don't want to win games. That's the way I saw it. I looked at it and said, wow, man, really? But it just solidifies why people think, just looking at what Russell Wilson and that team did. Was it 94 yards?
It was, but I heard a comparison that I find interesting because I remember the year that Metcalf was drafted, there was a lot of talk about how he was a workout warrior and did all this because he ran so fast, he bench pressed, he jumped.
Right.
And somebody called him the new Megatron.
I saw that. That was on ESPN, I believe. So my response to that was
There's
the potential is there. The potential is there. I'm not calling him Megatron yet. He's got the body size. He has the ability to be that.
and
I got to see a lot more before I give him
Yeah.
that. I got to see a lot more before I give him that.
I agree, and I'm still baffled how he fell that far. Second round.
Yeah, Green Bay passed him twice. How could you do it? Could you imagine with Adams? And I'm sorry. This is just draft failures. Just
We can imagine all day,
oh
but
my
it ain't.
gosh,
Don't do a damn
no,
thing.
man, it doesn't help.
Because could you imagine how my secondary would look if we had Minka Fitzpatrick beside Antoine Winfield Jr.?
I mean, just phenomenal, probably.
That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, we can fantasize all day. Back to work.
Back to work. Saints win 30-27 over the Chargers in a game that they shouldn't have won because Herbert looked phenomenal early. And then the Chargers just said, "You can have it now if you want it.
And
you can have it now if you want it."
Herbert right now is offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, he
Honestly.
might be. He might be. He's giving Barrow a run for his money.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
only thing that's giving Burrow the advantage, I think, in my opinion, is that he played all 5 games so far, and Herbert's one behind. But besides that, Herbert looks phenomenal, bro. He looks great.
He is making Mike Williams look like Mike Williams should have looked when he first came out.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
in fantasy leagues, I've been snatching him up and benching him just to hold on to him because when he's healthy,
He's phenomenal.
Oh, damn.
He's phenomenal. And so, yeah, Saints end up winning that one somehow, some way. And then the last one, before we get to our predictions for the
that
week,
made
Jay,
me sad, bro.
I picked Buffalo, but my heart told me, you should probably go with the Titans. I said, no. This is a big test for Buffalo. Boy, did they fail this test. I'm going to tell you right now, Derrick Henry is a whole man.
And Devin Singletary
He's an old man.
just did not look good at all, man.
Yeah, and that's why
He
I
had
think
20-some carries for like 60 yards.
Well, I think that's another reason why they tried to get Le'Veon Bell. If they could have got Le'Veon, that would have really helped that offense out big time. I mean, Singletary, Moss is hurt, but you bring in a Le'Veon Bell to go with Allen, and the receiving core that's starting to really grow. Brown's a legitimate number 2, Diggs number 1. You got Beasley. I mean, offensively they're where they need to be, but the running game You know, they need to kind of take some of that pressure off of
Of
Allen.
Allen.
Yeah, he can't be the one out here trying to do all that all the time. It's just a bad deal.
But I really thought that defense was going to be better, which brings you to the fact of Ryan Tannehill is no longer a bust. He cannot be
No.
considered
He
because
looks
what he did
great,
last year
man.
and what he's doing now.
Well, I will even go as far if you go back a year before then. The year. Remember the year he got hurt, and then of course he came back, and then they did that one year before he got hurt. He was 12-4 in his last 16 games. So if you want to go up to 4 years, he's actually been playing good football for a while. It's just that it kind of went unnoticed.
Right, but
So-
now he's got a full
Yeah.
team and a defense around him.
And they're supporting him. They love this guy.
And, DK Metcalf's teammate in college, A.J. Brown, is legit.
They have really come along in this organization, and that is just to me, Bill Belichick rubbing off on Vrabel and him spreading that
But
love in the
I
Tennessee.
like to see the fact that it is not that they're breaking that curse.
Yeah.
Because the Belichick disciples,
Have been
Matt
miserable.
Patricia,
Patricia, what's my man name that used to coach the Jets?
which
That-
one?
Oh God,
Eric Mangini.
Eric Mangini. You knew exactly where I was going with that. Romeo's down in Texas. He's the oldest coach in NFL history right now.
I mean, then the dude that's been an NFL coach 3 times and now is offensive coordinator still over there for Belichick.
Yeah, Daniels, and he's probably going to get a job again eventually.
I wouldn't give him a fucking bag of
he-
popcorn.
I think he should just stay there till Belichick leaves, and then he just takes the job over. What's the use of you going anywhere else? Why mess it up? Just go with what you know. Stay with the culture, man. That's just me. But nevertheless, I also have to ask you this question: what does Derrick Henry have against the number 29?
I don't know because you know what? It's my number because that's the number I wore in high school.
Why does he? Did someone that he used to talk to his girlfriend wear the number 29?
I don't know.
Why is the disrespect so? Man, we saw it last year against Earl Thomas wearing the 29. He saw Josh Norman and he mans my man 35 feet into the crowd. What is going on, man?
Everybody was so excited to see, Norman back playing with his old DC where he was.
Right.
And I mean, he just got.
Dude, it's some of the wildest thing I've ever
He
seen.
gave him a crisp high five to the face. That was it. I mean, if you're Josh Norman, that's where you throw your helmet on the ground and it comes up and smacks you in the face again.
I mean, and then I saw a post. I don't know if anybody's seen this meme where it's like, man, they said, why does Josh Norman keep getting in the most disrespectful moments in NFL history? And it's like him getting stiff-armed by Dak Prescott. The other one was him getting beat up by Cam Newton at practice the time. And and it was like 3 or 4 of them,
So,
man.
okay, let me ask you this. Which was the worst stiff-up? Okay. Henry on Norman or McDonald on Conte?
But McDonald on Conte. He ended my man's, career?
Yeah, he's done.
Me and somebody was talking about that at work. I was like, bruh, he ended my man's career. Yeah, it was a rap city, bro. There was nothing else he could do about it. All right, that was a recap from last week. Now it's time for
Let's
our
fly
predictions.
through our picks.
Yeah, let's go.
'cause we've been
We've been having a good time. We're gonna go and go through our picks for the week. Let's start this one off. Let's see. The Packers are taking on I skipped one. Hold on. Washington's taking on the Giants in the Meadowlands at MetLife. How do you see this one going?
This one here is like 50-50, man.
Right.
Because I mean, no Barkley,
Right.
and the Giants. Slayton's their best weapon. Their defense has been ish.
Yeah.
So, and their line sucks. You flip, the table, and you got that line. I gotta pick Washington just because their defense. I think their defense makes plays.
This is what makes this tough for me, because I don't think Washington has kind of figured out at quarterback, obviously, and I feel like Daniel Jones had some really good moments last week against Dallas. Of course, Dallas has the worst defense in the NFL. At least it seems that way. At least against the pass. I look at this and say, I like what I saw from Freeman last week. Slayton obviously is Wichita's number 1 target. Evan Ingram kind of got his self into it. At the beginning of the season, I had Washington winning this game. At this point, I'm not sure. So I'm going with the Giants. I got to go with the Giants in this one.
I just that those four guys up front,
Mhm.
along with the rotation of Kerrigan and Landon Collins, used to play for that team. He
He did.
used to practice against that.
This is also true.
I see Collins making a couple plays, and I really like that defense.
Yeah, I mean and you're right. This is 50-50. You
And
can close your eyes
I
and
don't
pick
think
this one.
I don't think there's anybody on the defense that can match up with McLaren.
Well, that's true. But the other thing about this, Jay, is that this is a battle right now for the NFC East, man. I mean, we got a 0-4 team, and then we got a 0-5 team versus a 1-4 team. And guess what?
It's
Washington's
the battle.
they're only a game out. They're only a game out, and Dallas is 2-3 barely. Just imagine if Dallas had lost last week, Washington would be in first place again. that's how
But
crazy that is. Isn't that crazy?
It's very crazy considering that we go back 3 years, and this was one of the powerhouse or
Yeah, the people were saying like this is one of the toughest ones, and it went from being tough to whoop.
we picking top 5 bitches.
All day, every day. All day, every day. Next matchup I got on here, Packers and Bucks.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I'm picking the Packers. I ain't got nothing because you know what, Tom Brady can't count. I looked. Donovan Smith leads the league in false start penalties, and he's got to take on one of the Smith brothers.
Look,
And then on the other side, our number one corner is leading the league also in pass interference. He gonna be dragging, pulling on Adams. No. You guys are gonna win by 20.
I won't say that because I feel like it'll be a close one. I don't think Tom's going to go in there and just, whatever. I still have Green Bay winning this one. If this was a couple weeks ago, I probably would have picked Tampa Bay. But I got to go with Green Bay this one, and this is not me being biased. I just feel like offensively they've really come along nicely. I am a little worried, no Kevin King, but what's new there? And then Kenny Clark, I believe, will be back. So you do get Kenny Clark back. You'll have no Lazard. Lazard's still out. He's going to be out for a little bit. Adams comes back. That's a huge plus.
But you still have Aaron Jones.
You still have Aaron Jones. And then Williams was starting to look good. So and then Tonga. Let's talk about the young man, the tight end. So I want to see what they can do. This is a big game for Green Bay, though, because they need to win a game like this because they got Chicago coming up soon, and that division matchup is going to be critical.
Well, but see that on the flip side for Tampa, we've got the Chiefs, we've got the Chargers, the Saints, and I think the Raiders coming up. So we got oh no, we already played the Chargers. So,
Yeah.
but it's a dangerous stretch for us.
Yeah,
too.
so it's one of those things where, like, when I first saw our schedule, I'm like, it's gonna be a little tough. We gotta figure out our way. If we can, I felt if we can get to those first couple of games,
I mean,
then we'd be all right. But then even late in the season, we got Tennessee that we got to deal with. The Colts, middle of the road here, we got to eventually play them. So we don't know
I won't be upset if I'm wrong on this one, but I got to go with where the stats point me, and that's the Packers.
If Green Bay loses this game, I won't be disappointed because
didn't we have a bet on this?
We do have a bet on this. So, all right, here's the bet. If Green Bay wins, Jay has to.
I got to change my Facebook profile picture.
To the Packers for the whole week. I'm doing the same thing. We semi-stole this one from. I saw my man, poor Danny Thompson. He's a Falcons fan. He been rocking that Panthers. Here's the bad thing about his though. He's got to keep it on his profile until they play again. Until they beat them.
Shit.
What? That's what I said. Oh my God, I don't want those problems. But we're only doing ours for a week.
Yep.
So I have to go in there and profess my love for Tom Brady and bow to him and say Tampa Bay is the greatest thing since
Because the last time we made a bet like this, I walked around in a very large Aaron Rodgers jersey at work.
I got it in the closet.
I mean,
I got it in the closet. And then I think the last time you had to wear it on the show. So he wore it on the show, but he wore his Bucks hat on top of that.
But we have. Tampa has not won the last 5 times.
Yeah, so that's what makes me a little weary. Yeah, that's that type of stuff you just got to watch out for. So
don't worry. You guys are fucking amazing.
Next one, Texans and Titans. Titans are 4-0. Texans are 1-4. Texans looked a lot better last week, but I'm going with the Titans.
Titans, yeah.
I'm going with the Titans on this one. I can't do anything else. Derrick Henry's a man-child. Next, we've got Colts and Bengals.
Now, see, this one here is interesting.
I'm doing the same
Just
thing. Kinda
because,
stole,
I
I stole
mean,
this one from. Well, see, I saw my
they're
man
they're
post Andy
literally
Thompson. He's a Falcons fan. He's been
probably
rocking that
70 miles
Panthers.
apart.
Right. Here's the bad thing
You
about
know,
his though.
I don't remember the interstate. I
Keep
went
it on
there
his
once, but
profile
for
until
me, I gotta go with the
they play
Colts because
again.
on
Until
paper they have the better team.
What? That's
Right.
what I said.
So
Oh my
that's
God, I
who
don't
I
want
gotta
no
pick.
problem. But we're
I'm
only
going with the
doing
Colts as well. I still think the Bengals are just a work in progress. I just hope that they kind of give Zach Taylor time to build that team and they don't just fire him right off. Because I don't think he's a bad coach. I've seen some things where I'm like, this team could be good. They just don't have the pieces. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, and I hate when they just get rid of a coach and they don't give him time. So that's the same thing with Miami. Don't you dare get rid of Flores. you gotta stick with
I
him,
mean,
man.
I don't see them.
I don't see them getting rid of him
No.
either, but you got to say he's got the right mindset. He gives you like a Tomlin a feel, like early Tomlin feel. You know what I'm saying? Like how he had those Pittsburgh teams in the beginning, he gives you that type of feel. So we'll see
But
on that.
Tomlin also absorbed a team that had a good
Bill
quarterback.
Cowher too, yeah, man, yeah. Next one, Falcons and Vikings. I'm sorry,
I mean,
Atlanta.
Yeah, I gotta go Vikings
I'm sorry,
because
Atlanta.
I feel that we're gonna see Matt Schaub starting a quarterback soon.
This rate, that's the way it's the way it's looking. I'm going with the Vikings. The Vikings should be 2-3. I'm glad they're not.
Cook is not playing. Matt is gonna be the starting.
Yeah, Matt. I
but
think Madison.
Madsen.
Yeah, he'll be the starter. He's been a huge pickup in a lot of fantasy leagues this week. So make sure if you need a running back, he'll be the one to grab. We both got Vikings on that one. Next one, this game may not happen. We're gonna talk a little bit about
What
this.
is it? COVID-19 versus Trump?
This one may not happen because the Patriots had, and this is kind of what we didn't get a chance to
Another
talk about.
one?
They had another one today. They had 2 positive tests today. They know that they have They do know of one of them, and they're waiting to find out from the second one. And so I
This
don't
is
know.
the-
And they were quarantined. I don't know what they did. I don't know what happened. I think they had, but the Patriots game is in trouble. The only problem is they used their bye already. So this is just going to make this a mass scramble. Do they forfeit the game?
It's got to be. I mean, especially if they're on quarantine,
That's what I'm
it's
thinking.
got to be a forfeit.
Yeah.
At a point, the NFL's got to say, well, "Shit, we can't keep doing this."
Well,
stuff.
they shut down the facility, but they're still practicing. I think the other people that are they're spread out or whatever they decided to do. So I'm intrigued to see how that one finishes up. I really am. I don't know how
But
that's
who
going
are
to.
they supposed to play?
The Broncos. I had the Broncos.
I had the Broncos.
I had the Broncos winning this game. So
because I believe Drew Lock's back.
Drew Lock is back.
So, but I don't. I think they're going to be without their running back though, because he might
Phillip.
be in jail.
Yeah. Come on, man. Stop drinking. So what you doing, bruh? Or weed,
25.
whatever you were doing, man. You gotta.
He-
Come on, bruh.
25 to 39 miles per hour over the speed limit.
Oh, he was high.
He was booking it.
Was he high or drunk?
He was drunk. He got a DUI.
Come on, Melvin. Well, Philip Lindsay is back, which is perfect timing for them. So at least they get Philip
Oh, is
Lindsay
he
back.
really?
Yeah, he'll be back this week. So they have Philip Lindsay back. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I feel good about
All
that.
right.
Next one, Ravens and Eagles.
Ravens.
Ravens. But I will say this. Miles Sanders is having a really good year.
And I'm so glad I got him on that sleeper
He
team.
is having a really good year. And even Marquise Brown. Hollywood's having a solid year. And I was surprised because I was one of those people that I'm not 100%
See,
sure.
I've got him on some teams, but I've yet to start him because I'm so.
You're afraid. You're afraid. You don't know what you're going to get from him. You don't know if he's 1 week. Because he'll go 2 weeks, man. Oh, he balling. You put him in, he get 2 points. No,
Yep,
bro.
exactly.
There's no consistency there. So that makes me a little worried. I got the Ravens in this one, but I love what I'm seeing. Love what I'm seeing from Miles Sanders. And what's the guy name? Tyler Truffle?
Fugim.
Frogum? You know, that kid, I mean.
He just came out of nowhere
Yeah.
to have a game last week.
Yeah.
And every league that he's been available in.
Grabbed him.
Oh hell yeah.
I grabbed him in one of my sleeper leagues just to see how that would handle out. But we'll see. But I got Ravens in that one.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
All right. Now this matchup is actually interesting this time around. We got Steelers and Browns.
I've been waiting for this rematch because they have not played since Miles Garrett smacked
Smacked my man.
Mr. Rudolph
He smacked
in the
my man.
cranium with his own helmet.
What's up with the cranium, man? He smacked my man.
Well, that's what you get for calling people disrespectful
Yeah,
words,
you got to
sir.
be careful, bro, what you're saying. I mean,
And Miles Garrett, he's going to have a game. He's back. He's
having a
going to
great
be pissed off. And and I know Ben's hard to get, but Myles Garrett's going to have at least 3 or 4 sacks.
So are you picking the Browns?
Yes.
All right, all right. See, I wanted to pick them. I'm going to go with the Steelers. I'm still going to go with the Steelers. I think the Browns are looking good though. I like what I'm seeing from this. The AFC North is going to might get 3 teams into the playoffs.
Now, but
They
just
might.
for me with the Browns, you see the defense, that offensive line on the other side has solidified itself, and the weapons are starting to become. And I love Pittsburgh. I love their defense. I just, there's just some I'm falling into this shit with LA, and I'm believing in the Browns.
As long as Baker keeps his head on straight, and they sent Odell home today because he was sick.
That was
But
yesterday.
I think was it yesterday they sent
It
him
was
home? Okay.
yesterday because I got him on 3 fantasy teams.
Oh, so you went
And
to go check it?
I just checked.
He went to go check that thing
He
quick.
practiced,
Yeah.
so he's good.
He was like, man, I don't even know how to feel about this.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
because I get bye weeks have started, so I got some people on bye, so
Right.
I gotta be.
So you
careful.
had to
Yeah,
make sure
yeah.
you had to make sure you were in good
I
shape.
gotta stay on top of that
Yeah.
shit.
you ain't got time for the games, bro. You ain't got time for the games. But I'm going Steelers. Jay's going Browns. Panthers and Bears. I picked the Panthers, Jay. But I picked the Panthers because I think they're starting to catch momentum, and they're just playing decent football right now. The Bears are not doing terrible. They're playing good, too. I just got a good feeling about Teddy Bridgewater and the Panthers. With them being at home, I'm going to pick the Panthers.
I hate the fucking Panthers, so
I
I'm
know.
going Bears.
I kind of figured. I hate the Bears, so I'm going Panthers. let's just be. I mean, in this case,
it's fair.
I mean, it's fair. It's fair. I mean,
As you would say, I don't hate that.
I don't hate that at all. Next one, Lions and Jaguars. Jaguars are the home team. The Lions are
Oh,
1-3.
my
The
God.
Jaguars are 1-4.
Both shitty teams, but I still got faith in Stafford.
I feel like these teams, their records, they could easily be like. I like the Jaguars. There was 2 other games the Jaguars could have won. They could have beat the Titans, and I want to say, what was the other game?
Dolphins.
No, they lost to the Bengals, didn't they?
Or no, it was the Titans that they almost beat.
Yeah, they should have beat the Titans and they should have beat the Bengals, but they Bengals beat them.
Oh yeah.
So those 2 games, they had chances. They could easily be 3-2 right now. The Lions had the Saints in the palm of their hands, and they let them come back and beat them. So, and I feel like these teams, they're 1-3 and 1-4, but they could have better records right now. They could easily have better records right now.
But see, part of this falls on the fact, I look at what Patricia's a defensive-minded coach.
Right.
They took Okuda, and I love Okuda.
Right.
But Okuda right now is
Next
the
one, Lions and
third
Jaguars.
lowest
Jaguars are home
ranked
team.
first
The
round
Lions
pick.
are 1-3. The Jaguars are 1-3.
DeAndre Swift is right below him as the second worst first round pick.
And they got both of them.
And they got both of them.
Oh, shoot. That's not good.
So everybody thought Swift was going to come into the league and do what
Jaguars, there was 2 other games the Jaguars
Sony did,
could have beat the Titans.
Michelle up there, and he just can't find
I
his
they
group.
lost to the Bengals. We've talked stuff like this. I just think if he was on another team. Yeah, they should have beat
Yeah,
Yes.
well, but
But I mean,
that could be the case with 9
Other
million
people.
other, not.
Steven Askins, how you doing today, sir? Good to see you, my man. I could be late on that. That might have
You're
been
very
from,
late on
Yeah,
that,
I'm late
bro.
on the other one. I think I said hi earlier, but I saw it on my page. But it's still good to hear from you, my man.
Drugs are bad.
I know, right? Drugs are bad. I'm
Yeah.
telling
So for me, I'm going Jaguars.
I am going Lions. I just want to see.
A lot of
what
our
they could
picks
do.
have been separated.
We've
so
been separated.
Either
One of us gonna have a bad week.
It better not be me.
You
Because I want to catch you and beat your ass.
I mean, look, man. My goal is we got to find a way. Look, here's the thing: we got to find a way to catch Ty. Ty's starting to creep away from us, bro. He's got like a 5-game lead over us.
I
And
know.
We got to catch up with Ty right now.
Let's go break his knees. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love you, Ty.
Well, look, we don't need Kelsey coming after us. We ain't got time for those games.
Oh, yeah.
Next one, Jets and Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Then we got Rams and 49ers.
Huh? Rams.
I'm going Rams. I like what they're doing. Just like Robert Woods looks good right now. Cooper Kupp looks
I
good right
even
now.
saw Josh Reynolds get involved.
Josh Reynolds getting involved. Higbee's having their offense is starting to look like they did from 2 years ago. Whatever slump they had last year, they're looking a lot better. So.
And I mean, all three running backs. No,
Yeah, I mean, whoever they have at running back is just doing good.
they are.
Darrell Henderson, Malcolm Brown.
And we finally got to see Akers last
Yeah, Akers came back. So they got a nice little three-headed, not monster, but a three-headed running back trio that are doing
being
good.
very
They're
productive,
being
yes.
productive. So I'm going to go with the Rams. Even after I said I thought they would finish last in that division, but
Why
that's
is it
okay.
just showing our faces?
I don't think I can still see on my end. We solid.
It says this. Well, here's.
I'm still looking.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Jake wouldn't be looking cute today. Thank you, Pumpkin.
Next one, Chiefs and Bills, brother. Who you got in Chiefs and Bills?
Oh, well, you know, the Chiefs kind of concern me because they did. Kelsey took all the blame for that game, and you didn't hear anything come from home.
Exactly.
He didn't own up to what he did and couldn't do and shit like that.
Mhm.
So for me, I am gonna go Chiefs.
I also am going to go Chiefs. I still think that there's some work that needs to be done on the end for the Bills. I think there's going to be a baby setback, but they'll eventually get back into it. So that's the first Monday night game that starts at 5 o'clock. So, and then the next one we have, and last one for Monday night, Cardinals and Cowboys. I mean, Andy Dalton show in Dallas.
That's going to be very interesting because Kyler Murray was like, "Well, look at me. Yes, I got this," and then he just dropped back.
Yeah, they won last week, but they're playing the Jets. But they could easily be 4-1, but they struggled against Detroit, which that one bothered me a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the one that bothered me. I felt like they should have had that one in hand, but they just couldn't get that one going.
But
So
then you can flip the switch and say, they won mightily against the Washington football team, but Washington in the first 2 quarters made that a game, and then finally just kind of gave up.
yeah, I mean that was rough for them.
So
But, I mean, yeah. So I look at it.
I'm gonna pick the Cardinals, just intuitive to preserve my own life.
Yeah, I'm picking the Cardinals as well because I'm not trying to get beat up by any Cowboy fans. I had 3 Cowboy fans hit me up in the inbox, Jay, and said, "Stop picking my team." I was like, "Y'all won, but Dak is injured because of you. How am I getting blamed for this, man? How is it my fault that Dak broke his ankle?"
It's annoying when you get people knocking on
Bruh,
your door saying,
I'm telling you,
"Oh,
bruh.
it's your fault Dad got hurt," and you just want to punch him in the fucking face.
I was like, how is this my fault? Yeah, man, I got 3 inboxes on random. Like, yo, you got to stop picking our team. I said, but y'all won. And then, I don't know, man. I did the best I could.
But I mean, it could have been worse. They could have had, Joe Flacco as the backup instead of Andy Dalton.
Yeah, that is true. You definitely could have had Joe Flacco in as the backup. So, but anywho, everybody, that was it for our predictions for the week. It should be fun to see how things round up next week. But now we're going to finish our show today, of course. Jay's getting prepped for it.
And now
My
it's
ears
time
to get
for
on the fuck
cash or trash.
Actually did good this time. It wasn't that bad. All right, everybody. It is time for Cash or Trash here on the
You're gonna
podcast.
turn me into fucking Helen Keller.
I'm sorry,
gonna be
man.
Deaf and blind.
I am trying my best not to deaf you, bro. I'm so sorry about that. All right, so the next one,
Both of us jumped when you
I
said
know,
that
right?
shit.
The couple weeks ago, I had to take the headphones off because I thought it was over. I didn't know what was happening. I thought it was bad. So our first Cash or Trash, we got the Atlanta Falcons fire sale. Are you cashing or trashing this fire sale?
Cash. I mean, everything's got to go. We talked earlier. Ryan, Julio. I might even say Tankersley is going to go, and maybe even Grady.
Man, they're going to do a lot of cleaning, and at least I got a feeling that it's coming. I am so sorry, Becky. But y'all won, though. That's what I don't understand. Y'all won. How am I getting? I'm sorry.
Hey,
I didn't pick you this week,
hey,
so I don't want to hear no
don't,
excuses.
Don't try to understand. Just Go with it.
Just go with it. All I know is if Cowboys lose this week, I don't want to hear nobody coming to me and say, "Well, Darrell, why didn't you pick us this week?" I don't want to hear it. No, 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 no.
Oh.
No, no, super no. Um, but I'm gonna cash this because I think that they've already kind of talked to Matt Ryan. I think that there was a couple of days ago they asked Matt Ryan about I guess being a Falcon Beyond or something like that, and he said we just rent these locker rooms. And it was just the way he said it made me
Right.
feel like, boy,
Here we go.
here
It's
we
start-
go.
And
So,
I knew Dan Quinn was going to go,
mhm.
but for me, the one thing that I don't know. Steven says trash it, but I mean, get the value out of what you can.
If it
right now.
doesn't happen now, it's happening in the offseason.
But
It's definitely happening in the offseason.
it makes more sense in my point of view to do it now because you have teams that are, competing
Mhm.
that would give up stuff that they wouldn't get in the off season. Does that make sense?
That's
because
true. That's
you
true.
can get free agents. Why not get? We'll do a little flip deal. So
Yeah,
that's why I feel.
I will say, I think that if you're Atlanta and this is a tough 0-5 start because they should have won 2 of the games, so they should easily
yeah,
be 2
but
and
they
3.
also should have won a damn Super Bowl too.
This
so.
is also true. But it was time for Dan Quinn to go. A lot of people think he saved his job at the end of last year, winning those last couple of games just to save his job. A lot of people think he should have already been gone. If you ask most Atlanta fans, and
I
we
was
know a
just
couple.
surprised Dimitrioff went because he survived the Smith era there,
Mhm.
and it just really got me.
I think Arthur Blank is starting to. I think he looks at the. I think he's looking in this form. Brand new
Gee.
stadium.
Jay, you have Cash App? No, bro, I don't.
I got it. Send it to me so I can send it to him. Look, I got it. Look, the $ LegacyMaker 15. Send it to me and I'll send it to him. There you go.
Bro, you
Look,
ain't- bro,
it's been 3 years, right?
Bro, it's all good. Keep your money. I
Oh, my
love you to
God.
death, and it's all good. I just like giving you shit about it.
I will say this about Atlanta. I think that Blank looked at it and said, well, you know what? We got a brand new stadium. It's only a couple years old,
Mm-hmm.
and they got some of the best prices in the league. They want fans to stay in there. They don't want fans to go bye-bye. And I think he knows how. And I talked to a friend of ours, Raphael. He told me one time, Atlanta fans are fickle. He said he hate to be that way, but they can be that way because if you're winning, they're all about you. If you're losing, they ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if they're losing, they wash their hands up.
They're not like the Eagles fans.
No, they're not. The dedication. So and I looked at it, and when he told me that, and we conversated, I said, yeah, you know what? That makes a solid point. And I think Blank doesn't want to lose the city.
Oh,
And a lot of the fans right now, they got to go. He's like, well, they got to go. I think that's what's happening in Atlanta.
when the masses agree, you got to do that.
You got to do what you got to do.
But
Yeah. So next one, cash or trash. Le'Veon Bell makes Kansas City the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
I really thought that they were one of the favorites, anyways. I mean, I saw one of the greatest memes that I've ever seen. It's where Vision with the Soul Stone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's being pulled out of his head,
Yeah.
and it's Patrick Mahomes as Thanos putting it in the gauntlet.
I'm ready. Come, my child. Yeah, it's bad, dude. I mean, they're a stud. I mean, you got Edwards-Helaire, who is he's still kind of getting in his groove, but he's had some decent games. So you have I'm not saying younger version of Le'Veon Bell, but he has that skill set that Le'Veon has. And
It looks like they kind of set up what they did last year because they had Williams
yeah,
and they
then
had McCoy.
Yeah, they have McCoy. So now you have Hilaire and you got Le'Veon Bell.
But
And if you get half of Le'Veon, if you can get a decent amount of Le'Veon Bell, you're in great shape.
I agree, but my main concern is I just don't want to see him bring, an attitude or something to that locker room because that locker room seems very tight. And
I got a feeling we don't see it because I think he's a little bit humbled. The only thing we really heard from him since being the Jets is him being mad at Jamal Adams, which I've been a little pissed too. If you recruit me to come here,
And
I
then
come
bail
here
on
and then
me.
you run out like a track star. So yeah,
No.
that part of it, I think he's been not as boisterous as as he was
but
in Pittsburgh.
See, that makes me you know, they need to work on that line because, first of all, you know, their center opted out to help with the COVID thing
Right.
for the season, and then they bring in the dude from the Ravens. I can't say his name, and he tore both knees up last week.
It's crazy.
So I feel that there's a trade that needs to be made, some with some sort of collateral
Right.
to get. What are you laughing, bro?
Because G said he already sent the enjoy your steak dinner.
All right, bro. Thanks, man.
But yeah, man, I look at it and say to myself, like, you know, the way they're set up right now.
Stevens disagreeing with us because he says trash.
Well, I mean, they were like you said, Jay. They were already kind of the favorite.
Gee, it's all good, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Nothing but love for you.
Yeah,
man.
they're kind of already the favorite. You know, I just think it solidifies it a little bit. I think, you know, last week kind of gave them a little bump in the road losing to the Raiders, but they're a division rival. You know, I mean, people got to understand division rivals are always going to be one of the ones you have to kind of watch out for because you never know.
I understand that, but for me, why you laughing?
Because Steven said people are calling Le'Veon Durant.
Well, and that was what my point. The man here, you know, he took a year off,
Right,
and then you know he couldn't stay healthy.
right.
So what says he gets over there? And I mean, I don't know. I gotta
So,
see it before I buy it.
And before
So
I
I'm
move
gonna
on,
trash it.
before I move on it, I will say that I think that I got the people calling him Durant. I don't know how that correlates because, you know, yes, the first part of it, yes, but he went to the Jets. It's not like he left the Pittsburgh Steelers and went to the Patriots.
But
or he went to a team
he
that
left.
right there.
He went to the Jets. But for me, it is the way he went about it the last couple of
It
years.
was bad. It was bad the way he went about it.
I mean, it was 100% disrespect because yeah, you're the player,
Right.
but you know, they took the chance on you. They provided you the atmosphere to make yourself what it is.
Right.
Why shit on them?
Yeah, I mean, I and what trips me out about that whole situation is that Pittsburgh did offer him more money. They were offering him $14 million a year. He took 13 and a half, I think, with the Jets. I think for longer term.
It's because you know he really liked the drug dealer Adam Gase had.
Sounds about right. On how? Don't even get me started with Adam Gase. How does my man still have the job? But we'll find out.
He needs to go. I mean, him or the other person. You know, I don't dislike. Judge is still the coach
At
for the
New York,
Giants.
yeah.
But Gettleman's ass has got to go.
Yeah, I think that they just hired Harry Douglas. I think it was the guy, Joe Douglas from Philadelphia. So I don't see him going nowhere. I don't think Gase is going to be there long because you know, Douglas was under Howie in Philadelphia, and I think he'll
And
get
Howie
things.
did great things. Still
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
He's
I think he'll be good. I think he'll be good. All right, before we got two more topics before we get out of here. Cash or trash? The NFL season will finish. Will it finish, man? I mean, will it finish?
You know, it's weird because if something happens with the Patriots and they got to start forfeiting Kraft and his massage parlor, well, they'll start forfeiting. And I want to cash it just because it's great to have a bit of normalcy.
Right.
In this time. There's still the fear there. I mean, this is something real that everybody's got to deal with.
Right.
So, but I'm going to cash it for now.
I think
It was very smart of them to do away with the Pro Bowl, though.
Yeah, I think so too. And they say they're re-imaging it, but this is like the third time they re-image it. The only way, in my opinion, that the Pro Bowl will work for me is if I don't think they can. I think they almost have to do it middle of the season. Does that make sense? Like maybe they take like a couple weeks off. And they say, all right, the whole week is off. And the center of the football world is just on them in the middle of the season. And then, I think even then, you don't know if you can do it then because you got to make it almost like a flag football game.
Man, but see, for me, the Pro Bowl I would be better as a fan. I would enjoy it more if they didn't do a Pro Bowl game. But if they did, remember like the skills challenge?
I remember they loved it. Yeah, they brought them back a little bit.
I love that skill challenge shit that they used to do.
I like it, but you know the other thing about it though, you know what really hurts the Pro Bowl? Players not wanting to play. That's what hurts the Pro Bowl. the like when we were kids, Jerry Rice played, Joe Montana played, Steve Young played, Brett Favre played. All the big dogs played. But the last 15 years, maybe 15, 20 years,
They've been opting out.
they'd be like, oh, no, I'm not going to play. I don't want to play. What?
Why would you? I mean, shit. I'll be a tackling dummy for what they
Yeah,
get for the losing
I
team.
mean, just imagine going and go hang with all of the best players. And they don't take pride in, like, the NBA. You make the NBA All-Star team, man, we're going to have a ball, man. We're going to hang out with
They
the
have
boys.
fun, yeah.
You know, baseball the same way. You get into a baseball All-Star game, it means something. But the NFL, for whatever reason, it just doesn't mean nothing to the players. That baffles me. Because when we were growing up, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, all those guys.
I remember it
Yeah.
because it was nice to go and play with the best of the best,
Yeah.
learn, talk, meeting in the minds type of thing.
Yeah, and you don't get that now.
Now it's like the meeting in the mindless.
Right, and it's all about it. Even Aaron Rodgers makes me mad because I did last time Aaron Rodgers played was maybe the year or so after he won they won the Super Bowl, and he haven't really played since then. He had really one really good game, and then he's made the Pro Bowl like 3 or 4 times. He just doesn't show up. But as he's not the only one. You see guys like Russell Wilson though. Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, they go every year. Peyton Manning, when he was there, he went every year. But some people don't value it.
Exactly, and that's the problem.
They don't value it, and then they've got NFL find a way to make it valuable. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Until they can find a way to make it valuable, I don't see how
I
it
agree
can
with the
happen.
re-imaging. I like the fact of they tried to bring it to the States so more fans could go.
Which makes sense.
But also, a lot of the NFL players like the fact that they got a trip to Hawaii. They would take their family and do.
Yeah, it was a
It was
good
a
deal.
vacation there.
Yeah, so I don't know. They've got to find a way to kind of give it a draft feel. The draft is all they do is go pick players, and it's packed. But you can't. How does the best sport in America, All-Star game, not have the feel that the lower sports have in their
I mean,
All-Star game?
shit,
It's the craziest thing to me.
I don't enjoy watching NFL or not NFL basketball games that
Mhm.
much, but I will watch their All-Star game and their skills challenge
Yeah,
every year.
the All-Star game is always competitive. Like sometimes it's a little bit blowout, but they like that fourth quarter. Like this year when they made everything with the Kobe situation, it was great. It was a very exciting game. The stipulations, man, like they've got to find ways to get stipulations. And even when baseball did it, and hey, you win the World Series, like what? That's
not stipulations, incentives.
yeah, incentives. They got to find.
Maybe they. I don't know.
Right, it's a baffling
It's
thing.
one of those things like, okay, fine, you come to the Pro Bowl, your pick moves up one. I don't know shit.
I don't know. They'll figure it out. All right, last one on Cash or Trash before we get off this bad boy. All right, so George, I hope you're still in the room because me and George had like a little bit of a soiree or whatever fancy terminology yesterday about this. We was talking back and forth on a page about it. So the Miami Heat have said that they are planning, or the word around town is they're planning on going, and this has not been a super secret, but they're planning on going all in on the Greek Freak next year and try to bring him into Miami. So George said to me, man, he said, you want that bum? And I'm like, George, come on, man, he's 2-time MVP. So I understood George's, aspect where he was like, all he does is drive to the basket, dunk, he does spin moves, but he can't shoot, he can't do this and that. I understand that philosophy. I'll give him that. But we don't need him to do that. Why? Because everybody else on the team can do that. Everybody else on the team can do everything he can't do. So I want a guy that can come in and be that scorer. So I'm going to cash them going all in on him as long as we don't lose some of our key pieces.
I want to trash it because I think the way that Spoelstra coaches, Greek Freak is an amazing player and possibly could win a ring. But you guys, from what you need, from what I see, especially with the way AD and LeBron played, you guys need that 3 and D. You need a person that can play, the big forward position, get the rebounds, but still shoot the 3.
See,
Jason Tatum.
I thought about that. Tatum would be phenomenal, but if I could pick 2, Tatum and Gobert. Because we could
But
use
he's
it.
going to bring COVID to the team.
We don't want
you
that.
said that to me, remember?
I did say that. I did say that. I don't.
But see, Gobert is more. If you're going to say Gobert, you might as well try to trade and get Green.
Yeah, but I want somebody with the defensive mindset and with size and defensive mindset, and he's a 2-time defensive player of the year.
Bam is really a great defender down low. if you could get who was the other guy? I can't remember that had the. Oh God, he's the younger guy, not Hero, but he had game.
Duncan Robinson,
That guy.
that guy.
If they can get him to play a little, I think you need more offensive help.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's why I was like, I could be cool with it because of that.
Because the NBA no longer has that shutdown defender.
No,
They do, unless you get Beverly, but he's going to get in a fight.
or Kawhi, and if you're not, or Paul George. When Paul George, I don't know. I don't believe Paul George.
I think Paul George needs to. He's got about maybe 1 or 2 years, and he's done. Everybody's talking about Chris Paul's been rejuvenated now. Chris Paul's old.
Yeah, I like what I've seen from Chris Paul, but they don't need him in Miami because you got Dragic. You can keep Dragic for cheaper and not have to worry about that. Dragic will run the point just fine at the age that he's at. You don't really. For me, I'd keep Dragic before I go get Chris Paul.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that's just me though.
And
but
then on the, I don't know. There's so much talk around because now Harden's talking about being traded.
that see, the team that I hear the most about that is Philadelphia. And I said, wow, how would that look? But you got to trade Simmons if you're the Rockets. I guess you got to get Simmons or
But,
Embiid in
but
there. But-
some of them guys, being where they were drafted, aren't playing to that point. I mean,
Yeah.
trust. Everybody's like, trust the process, trust the process. The process is shit on you.
Yeah, I mean it's been it had some really good moments, and they're a contender, and they're important again. But I mean, I don't know. Doc Rivers is a good coach. Doc Rivers will get them and keep them relevant. I just don't know if it'll be enough. I really don't know if it'll be enough.
No.
I know the Ty doesn't want to hear that, but that's the way it is.
But I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So that's Cash or Trash. Before we get off of this thing, once again, make sure y'all get an opportunity to go hit us up on our social media pages. You can hit us up at LegacyMaker Sports Network on Facebook and YouTube, LegacyMaker Sports on Instagram, and LegacyMaker SPN on Twitter. We're on LinkedIn at LegacyMaker Sports Network. Also, we have combined the websites from 2 websites to 1. So now you just go to LegacyMakerSports.com and you can check all the articles out and check out everything from that one page.
And if you want to go back and watch any of our old episodes, we're starting to download those onto Tumblr.
Yeah, so we got a couple of good things going on. Let's see, it's we got Tumblr, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can catch us on the podcast on there. You can also get us on Google
If
Podcasts.
you're just ever having a bad day, just listen to us cuss.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be phenomenal stuff. It's going to be great. All right, everybody. Look, we love y'all. We thank y'all. We truly appreciate y'all joining us for episode 267. We'll be back next week for 268. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you exactly what day it is yet because,
G,
we
hold on. G's got something.
Let's see what G has to say.
Draymond Green and DeRozan would be a good addition. They're great filler players. DeRozan is a great mid-range. And, it's funny. We actually, when him and I talked about it, DeRozan was brought up.
Yeah, DeRozan would be a guy I could deal with. I've always been a DeRozan fan, so I can definitely deal with DeRozan being there. Draymond for me is just like, nah. I feel like we got Draymond on our team. I don't need Draymond.
You just don't like his attitude.
Even though because he defensively he fits. I think he can fit the Heat culture defensively. You know what I'm saying? So he's not a terrible person. I would not take him, but I don't want to overspend for him neither. And we've
I agree
overspent
with
for
that.
some people that I'm like, bruh, like
Deion Waiters.
same time. I'm just saying. I mean, he's got a championship now. Congratulations, whatever. But no, super no.
Hell no. I'll say it.
Yeah, there you go, my man. We will be back next week. I will give a Jay. We may even come Monday. That sounds bad. We may come on Monday because
That still sounds bad.
it still sounds bad regardless.
We might be back on Monday.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that.
Damn it, I'm the one with the mind in the gutter.
Oh
all
my
the fucking
God,
time.
isn't that bad? Yeah, so we might be back on Monday.
Thank you, Jesus.
And so that way we can give you the recap of everything, maybe preview on Monday Night Football once we get to that point. But if not, we'll definitely be back before Thursday
Thank
Night
you
Football next
very
week.
much, Stephen. He said, great show, fellows. Keep
Thank
up
you,
the great
Stephen.
work.
And make sure y'all check out the Inside Blitz with Stephen Atkins on Sundays. Stephen usually comes on. I think, Stephen, if you're on, man, make sure you put the time down. But I believe Stephen usually comes on around 10, gives his analysis.
And G, thank you, brother.
Yes.
I love you.
Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Until next time, me and Jay will see you for 268. 267 will be available within the next hour or so on all of our platforms. So
Listening
thank y'all.
platform. God bless. Be safe.
Peace. Same time. I'm just saying. I mean, he's got a championship now. Congratulations.